Hello everyone, and welcome to Straight Chilling. Each week we watch and review a horror film for your entertainment. You can send all questions and comments to straightchillingpodcast@gmail.com. And don't forget to keep chilling.
Yeah, we straight chillin', serial killing. 5 cold feelings on the mind, got you reeling. 5-star ratings from the floor to the ceiling. If you get your 1 star, no time for feelings. Got a demon DJ, all the 1s and 2s. By the name Elzebub, so don't get confused. So grab a seat by the fire, roast them all in 2. And prepare to hear the legend of the straight chillin' crew.
What up, nerds? Welcome to a very southern episode of Straight Chilling. My name's Bob, and I'll be your host for this evening. This is episode number 245, recorded on Monday, December 16th, 2019. Tonight, we're going to be talking about Parasite. Before we get into it, let me introduce everyone else on the show. First up, calling in from my dining room table, we got our boy Randall Gandal G. Landel.
I'm nude.
You're
not.
I wish.
YouTube exclusive.
Well, it sure is great to be in the rootin' tootin'est place in the world, Jacksonville, Florida.
Saxonville, rooting and tootingness. It's awesome. Next up, calling in from Southern Korea, we got our boy Soju.
What up? It's your boy Soju.
I thought you were going to say studio stands.
Yeah.
Studio.
Studio stands. Bob, get to work on that.
Yeah, I'm on it. Last but not least, also calling in from my dining room table, everybody welcome back fan favorite, Becky. What's up, Becky?
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
Good.
I'm glad y'all are here.
Rootin' and tootin' with my cider boy.
Cider boy.
Cider Boys Mimosa Cider, not a sponsor of this podcast.
Pumpkins.
Definitely not.
Toots to be coming later.
So, guys, how's Florida? The same or very different?
Very different.
You know, it really seems like there's a whole heaping helping of CBD stores here now.
Yeah, Dr. MJ.
Dr. MJ. We like to get high.
Apparently.
You like doctors named after Michael Jordan, apparently.
That, and then what else is different? Oh, the weather's nice and warm.
Yeah.
Publixes are back.
Publixes are back. They're back.
They're back.
Thank God.
They brought them back just for you.
We have no
Pod
object
form.
permanence in our family. If they're not in my line of sight, they don't exist anymore.
They shut them all down.
We just got a new Publix out here in Southern Korea.
No way.
You shouldn't.
Yeah, that's a lie.
Yeah, they're not even fucking Illinois. They're not making it to Soju.
Yeah, that's a lie.
Don't you lie to us about Publix. That's not acceptable behavior.
Yeah, that's not a joking matter. Before we get into it, let's tackle a little bit of housekeeping real quick. Another reminder, we have our January poll pick posted on our Patreon website. If you support us at the $5 level or above, you get the chance to vote on a movie we're talking about next month. The theme for the month is going to be redemption. So these 3 movies that you can vote on are movies that we have done a show on before, but we kind of want to revisit them and maybe get a little bit deeper into them. So the options are Evil Dead 2, Scream, and The Exorcist. Evil Dead 2 and Scream are pretty close to being tied. Scream's still winning, but not by a whole lot. And then The Exorcist is trailing pretty far behind.
We need to get some
the-
deadites in this bish.
Yes.
Yeah. The Exorcist was the first movie I ever made out, like ever with a person.
Yeah, that's a...
Yeah.
You think
Hot.
it was a
Threw
Whoa.
that on and went to town.
Was
Don't
it
know what happened.
the crucifix scene? That's
It
what
wasn't Randy.
Yeah. It wasn't Randy. It was a wombat. I cannot remember
was a
his name.
wombat.
It looked like a fucking wombat.
You making out with zoo animals before?
I don't know.
Let's compare. Let's compare with Randy.
And his eyes were very like
Better,
wide set.
worse?
Way worse. Very wet.
Very wet, she says. Quite.
I just remember like glancing over the TV and be like, this is kind of fucked up what we're doing right now. This is like, yeah, it was weird, but hopefully
How far did it go, Bex? Give us all the nitty gritty details.
Oh, man.
Randy
They did
wants to
that
know.
thing. I still don't know what you call that.
The shocker?
The shocker.
You got
no.
shocked?
We didn't.
That is the filthiest
That
thing Becky can
thing.
think of on the fly. That's the funniest part of that.
I always have to think
We
about it
did
when I
that
do my fingers.
thing?
I did the whole, the thing with the finger.
I got
You know.
wombatted.
You know
Got
that
wombat.
thing. Did that thing where he wrapped his tail around my neck.
Choked me a little bit. Begged for mercy, and then we're done.
Oh yeah.
So hot.
Here we go, Randy.
So hot. Is he better?
And now we can't get it up if we're not at a zoo. It's the smell of the manure that does it.
Manure.
Oh boy. Anyways,
So you've got until the end of the month to vote on our January poll pick. Juice, you've got a whole bunch of shit you need to talk about. Spill it, girl.
Where's the tea?
Spill it. Bracket of blood. We're talking bracket of blood. Blood. Last week was the Monster Division. It has finished, and the winners of the Monster Division are Shin Godzilla. It Follows, Bob's favorite movie of all time.
Uh-huh.
A Quiet Place, The Shape of Water, Krampus, Train to Busan, and It Chapter 1. Not It Chapter 2. That shit lost. But yeah.
some good picks.
Those are the 7 winners from the Monster Poll Pick. This is our bracket of blood. Each week we are doing a different division in our round 1, voting for the greatest horror film of the decade. This is something we're going to be doing for a while until we have one crowned winner. What is the greatest horror film of the decade? This week we have a new division. It is the Haunters division. So we have 7 new polls, 28 films total. And the 28 films that are included are, oh God, the first one, Gojim, Haunted Asylum. I think that's how it's pronounced.
Nailed it.
Yeah, nailed it. Yeah, Go Jeep, Deathgasm, The Innkeepers, Suspiria, The Wailing, Blair Witch, The Conjuring 2, Insidious, Housebound, The Autopsy of Jane Doe, Oculus, Sinister, The Babadook, The Conjuring, Crimson Peak, Unfriended, A Dark Song, Ghost Stories, The Last Exorcism, Evil Dead, that's the remake, of course, The Witch, The Veach, Ouija, Origin of Evil, Annabelle Creation, As Above, So Below, Hell House LLC, Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, The Canal, and Bedeviled.
That sound like the anal.
I think it's pronounced
It's the canal.
Okay, that's what I was like. What are you talking about?
It's canal.
the C
We
anal.
all know it's
C-anal.
canal.
It's the canal. But yes, that is our new division that is up. You have until this Friday, which is what, the 19th, the 20th, maybe? Until 11:30 p.m. Eastern time. That's when the polls will close. And then next week we have one more division. It is the Macabre division,
The
and
Hufflepuff division.
yeah, the Huffle, the catch-all. But yeah, so we are getting close to rounding out round 1 of Bracket of Blood. Thank you to everyone who has participated, voted, shared. We hashtag appreciate you. It's been a lot of fun. This one has a lot of movies that I haven't seen. I think this is the
Haunters?
division with the
Get your
movies
ghost
I
busting
haven't
ass
seen
in gear.
I know. There's a ton actually I haven't seen on here.
Get to work.
Some more tough choices. There was one, somebody was bitching about Housebound, Autopsy of Jane Doe, Oculus, and Sinister. All great movies that are hard to compete. Yeah. Ooh, or vote on.
Housebound for the win on that one.
Hashtag Housebound.
You're
for the
advocating
win.
now. Are we not? Is the impartial veil slipping?
Oh, I'm partial.
Okay,
I'm very
all right,
partial.
all right.
Yeah.
Also, a big thanks to everybody who hung out with us this past Friday. Joe Bob was doing his Red Christmas marathon. He had the old triple feature up there. We had a decent turnout. It was a good time. I passed out on the couch between 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning, I think.
Yeah.
Can't hang.
Wait,
Can't
did
hang.
he actually do number 2 of
Oh, yeah.
Silent
what's
Night,
that?
Deadly Night.
Oh, yeah.
Silent Night, Deadly Night 2? He did too?
He did
Yeah.
too.
We watched it yesterday.
Oh
It was
my
great.
god. Did he do 1?
No.
No.
He said
Shudder
we
doesn't
tried
have
to
rights
get
to it or
Yeah,
something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
he couldn't get the rights. Long story was the phrase. I think.
Ah.
But the second one basically is the first one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the thing. Is you get
Yeah.
the Cliff Note version as it is. So
You basically
why the
know the
fuck
plot.
not?
Yeah.
That is fucking hilarious.
And then you
Damn.
have Darcy, the male girl, up on antlers.
Yeah.
Oh, they really did?
Oh,
my
yeah.
God.
Yeah.
We heard it. Yeah, it was crazy.
Nice.
Is cool. He also showed Black Christmas and Jack Frost, which is terrible.
Yeah, there's 2/3 of an entertaining night there.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. I was enjoying Black Christmas. I had to go a little early, but the show is dope.
Yeah.
I love hearing Billy on the phone.
Pumpkins.
I think it sounds like that. So yeah, thanks to everybody that was hanging out with us on Friday. The last bit of housekeeping we have is this is going to be your final reminder that the You Pick the Flick tier is going to be posted on our Patreon website this Sunday, December 22nd at noon Eastern Standard Time. There's only 5 spots available for that. So if you have been wondering how you can pick a movie for us to review, this is the only way to do that. And they typically go pretty quickly. So this Sunday, the 22nd at noon, be ready and grab a spot.
Yeah, these motherfuckers go quick. We got some stalwart hard with us crew boys like to sweep them right away. So if you're looking to get in quick.
I was going to say, G-Baby slept in 45 minutes last time and missed his window.
They were gone.
That shit was snatched up.
Hard with us crew. So be on the lookout for that. And that's something we do quarterly. So those 5 movies we'll be talking about the first quarter of the year, and then we'll open it again. So what else? That's it. That's all we got. Let's talk about what we've been watching this week.
Hey gang, what you been watching?
Randy, what have you been watching?
Not a ton, actually. It was Joe Bob for the most part.
Yeah.
that was most of my experience. We watched Joe Bob, and then we revisited an old favorite by the name of Hidden Mysteries Bigfoot. We watched last night. And,
Yes.
if you're
Randy's favorite documentary.
It's so good.
If you have listened to this show before, you have probably heard us talk about it. It is the funniest fucking documentary you will ever see, and it's not intentional, but it sure
we
as
need
shit
to
is.
cover that movie.
I-
on this
we were
podcast.
talking about that.
We need to make that. I've seriously floated the idea of making a whole other podcast reviewing that movie like every week or some shit. Because I just want to talk about it forever. I want a fanzine. I want a tattoo. I want a sweater with like that guy's sweater. I want it. So yeah, Bigfoot Hidden Mysteries. It's on Amazon Prime right now. I think
And YouTube.
I think the little picture says Hidden Mysteries Bigfoot. The title card says the mystery files Bigfoot's big dick or some shit. And it's like
Monster mystery.
a monster mystery. Yeah, it's like
They didn't
the
even
Monster
name it the
Files.
same thing.
No, they're never the same. And when it's on Netflix, it just says Bigfoot.
And you'll know
it's
it's
off
the
there
right one
now.
if there's drumming.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you see a weirdo drumming in the woods in the first minute of the
picked right.
footage, you picked correctly.
Of the foodie.
Footage.
Yeah, you're in for a good
Yeah.
time.
Grab yourself a drink and settle in, my friend, because your world's about to open up wide.
That dude is just laying into that splash symbol, just going to
is.
town on it.
It's the best.
He's just entertaining Bigfoot.
He's just entertaining.
He just wants to entertain Bigfoot because he smells so bad.
He smelled him with his fiance when he ordered a draft beer, please.
Oh my god, the draft beer. I'm gonna walk into a bar and I'm going to go to the bartender and I'm say, "May I have a draft beer, please?" And then the scene is going to end.
And that's all you'll see of
That's
that
what the
scene.
stage directions wrote.
Damn, I need to watch that
It
again.
is so fucking funny.
It is the funniest
So
fucking
good.
thing I've
Oh.
ever seen in my life.
Shit.
I
Watch
think I might throw that shit on as soon as we get done.
Please do. Please do.
We'll watch it again if you get into town, buddy.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, okay, we're booked.
Becky, what have you been watching?
Well, I've been off work for the past week, and I don't
Which
know how to
never
work
happens.
his parents'
Nice.
TV, so I've been watching Survivor on demand. I finished the whole
Survivor, what season did you start with?
39.
Oh my god.
Yeah, this is the latest.
They're
season.
up to
that's-
39?
Now
Yeah.
that's what I call Survivor.
And
39.
It's pretty fucked up. So this
Holy
season,
shit.
they're really big on like, wow, the real world is really showing itself in Survivor, because they're talking about race a lot and like the Me Too movement, all this shit. But the big news is there's a dude on the island, one of the competitors, who is like touching the women, like grabbing their inner thigh And like these women,
I feel like that happens like every season.
Yeah,
Well, it happened
probably.
extra this
always
time.
It happened extra, but the women like didn't vote him out because he was good to bring to the end to vote out. Anyways, this episode I watched today, he got removed from the island for
They
assault.
shot
Like, they
him
had
out
to,
of
like,
a cannon
Yeah.
back to the mainland.
But they said it wasn't towards another contestant. He did it to like a crew staff.
Producer or something.
Damn.
That's fucked up.
Oh, god damn,
Yeah.
dude.
But he's a talent manager in real life, and I guess there's stuff coming out that he did that shit to his like actors and stuff
That's
too.
what he does. That's fucked up, man.
Yeah.
That's why you don't join Survivor if you're a rapist.
Or a woman, apparently.
That's the
yeah.
rule. Just if you're gonna be a rapist, just don't join Survivor.
Just
One
do
of the
something
criteria.
else.
Yeah.
Have the
so.
decency not to join Survivor, rapists.
Watch Bigfoot.
Rape Bigfoot instead.
Why?
So
Why rape someone when you could just watch a Bigfoot documentary?
true.
Dude,
those guys
that-
jack off
Bigfoot's
just
saving
enough
the
as a
world.
rapist. Yeah.
Bigfoot saving the world. That's the documentary. That's what it's called. The new one I'm making about the documentary.
Anyways, so I've been watching Survivor.
Cool. Anything else?
Okay.
I watched Hunger Games today because that's on demand as well.
Nah.
We've been watching a lot of baking shows with Andy's mom. That we watched a gingerbread cook-off today.
Oh yes. So some very catty competitors in that.
Oh.
There
I
were.
bet.
Yeah, she's like, I just spend the whole time making the sugar windows, and you get to do the piping. And then it was a whole argument.
It
so
was fucking chaos.
Horrifying.
sounds.
We do a
terrifying.
horror movie podcast, right?
I think so.
Okay.
Juice. What have you been watching?
I got to watch Knives Out.
Hell yeah.
Great.
It was delightful. Yeah, I really enjoyed that. It made me want to watch Clue. And I've been watching American Horror Story season 8, maybe Apocalypse. It's been a while since I've watched a season of American Horror Story. I didn't see like I think The Hotel was the last one I watched. So I have been watching that. It's not particularly good, but now I feel invested. That's how they get you. They got me.
That's the
It's
Star Wars method.
it's actually it's like titled Apocalypse, and it starts with kind of like, oh, nuclear missiles like dropping on the world or whatever. Like that's the premise, but it actually turns out to be like a sequel to season 3, which is Coven. So
Yeah.
I feel like kind of cheated. Like I'm like, well, what the fuck? Why didn't they just like start with that? I don't know. It feels weird to like set that baseline of like, oh, nuclear. I thought I was gonna get like some crazy mutants and shit, but
In the Coven oven.
yeah. So I don't know. It's
That show's weird because I feel like we've talked about it before where you get to like the 3rd or 4th episode and I just lose interest completely.
Yeah.
Because there's so much shit smeared on the walls by that point, and you don't know which turd to pay attention to.
Yeah. But
yeah, they
unlike Joe's
never
family,
want to
keep
stick
going.
with like one thing. Like even with Apocalypse, it wasn't even like until like the 2nd episode that they started like switching things up. I was like, God, can't you at least just like stick with one thing for like at least half the season?
No.
Is it Billy Eichner in that season?
So is it who in
Billy
that
Eichner?
season?
He's
I
in,
don't know who that is.
He's in a couple of
He's
seasons.
in
I thought
Hotel.
He was in Hotel.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking.
And I think
Oh,
Freak shows
maybe.
as well.
Anyway, sorry, just
Possible.
curious.
Cool.
Billy Eichner on the brain.
Yeah. So I've been watching that. I still might go back and watch the Cult one.
That one's pretty good. I
think
like that one.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. So I might go back and watch that one when I think I could finish this one before I leave for Christmas. But yeah, so that's what I've been watching. Knives Out was dope.
Cool.
Yeah.
I watched a little movie called Tammy and the T-Rex.
Oh
I've heard
dear.
about this movie about 35 times since I got
We've
here.
only seen it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I want to tell everyone about it. So Vinegar Syndrome put this out recently on Blu Ray and 4K. So this is a movie from 1993 starring Paul Walker, and I guess
And Denise Richards, right?
yes. And apparently, when it was originally released in the 90s, they took all the gore out of it, and it was just like a teenage comedy. And it still very much is that, but Vinegar Syndrome, the version they put out, they put all the gore scenes back into it. Basically, Paul Walker in the movie is dating Denise Richards, and they are in high school, and Paul Walker dies, and there's this crazy scientist who builds this huge mechanical T-Rex, and he transfers Paul Walker's consciousness into this T-Rex, and the T-Rex is trying to communicate with Denise Richards, but it can't talk, but he's like trying to communicate that it's Paul Walker. And then in the process of him doing this, he's also just like ripping people apart in really gory, hilarious ways.
It sounds like a really good version of Theodore Rex to me.
I don't know what that is.
Okay, never mind.
Okay.
Not big Whoopi Goldberg fans in here? What?
I guess
Okay,
not.
all right.
But this shit
Never heard of Ghost, Bob?
No, I have never
You
heard.
endangered, bro.
Never heard of Ghost. That shit is hilarious, though, and I highly recommend you check it out. It had me busting a gut.
I also thought Ghost was pretty funny. Thanks, Bob.
Oh my god. Other than that, I was able to check out Black Christmas, the new one that came out. Pretty solid. Pretty solid movie. Yeah. It's
Oh, really? I heard bad things.
I haven't heard one way or the other, but I'm trepidatious because it seems tonally very different.
Yeah, I don't know. It's not that different, but it's like, I don't know. It's PG-13, so the kills are, they shy away from showing a lot of blood.
Right.
But it is like, I think it's very effective in what it's trying to do. It's very much a social commentary on like rape culture in colleges, and they kind of tackle that head on. They don't like dance around it at all. It's like very much about that 100%. But I don't know. I think it's handled pretty well, and like the cast of characters in the movie do a really good job, and it's got like the Christmas vibe like going through it pretty much throughout. So it's
Do they have a cat named Claude though?
no, and they don't have a drunk house mom either, which is kind of a bummer.
No.
Bob, I don't like politics in my horror movies, okay?
I know you mean that.
I
Because
like
of
my
your
horror
tone.
to exist in a void, thank you.
I don't like commentary about anything ever. No, it's pretty good. I mean, it's definitely, it didn't need to be called Black Christmas, like, at all. They just kind of called it that, I guess, for name recognition. But it's good. I recommend you check it out.
Cool.
And I also finished the Watchmen series on HBO.
you did.
It's
Don't
fucking
spoil.
fucking incredible. That's all I'll say. Watch.
Really? Wow.
I gotta
Yeah.
see those last couple
God.
episodes.
Watch that shit.
Everybody's creaming their shorts about that show. Damn.
Creaming my shorts. Lot of blue dick. Actually,
Whoa.
not a lot, but definitely some blue dick.
A substantial girth of blue
Well,
dick.
actually, not enough.
We could really do a little more blue
Yeah.
dick if we're gonna squeeze out a part 10.
Is that the
Have
one you
the
said
blue
like
dick
was so
sessions.
long it went past the screen?
Yeah, it's hilarious. The first time you see the dude's dick, there's like a table in the foreground, and you don't see the end of it. The dick never ends. It's just shaft. And then the table obscures the
That
end.
reminds me of that in basketball where they're like nude in the locker room and they turn around and you can hear their wiener sloshing around. That shit's great.
Does that really happen?
In the movie, like it's a comedy.
Well, I mean, in real life.
Oh.
Yes.
No. Oh, okay.
In real life.
Did your wombat's wiener slosh around?
No.
No, okay.
Man, if there's somebody out there with a wiener that can sling over their shoulder like knapsack, I don't know him.
Well, there once was a man from Nantucket.
Let's move on.
Let's carry
continue.
on. Getting to the main event here, we'll start off with the back of the box.
What's on the back of the box?
What is on the back of the box? We're talking about Parasite from 2019. That's this year. Directed by Bong Joon-ho.
Oh my.
This is a South Korean joint, and the synopsis is as follows. All unemployed. Please forgive me on the names that... I'm going to butcher these names.
Here we go, guys. Get your canceling stamps ready.
All unemployed Ki-taek and his family take peculiar interest in the wealthy and glamorous Parks as they integrate themselves into their lives and get entangled in an unexpected incident. So, have you guys... Well, I guess we've all only seen this movie once that I'm aware of since it's pretty new. Justin, you might have seen it more than once. I'm not sure. Would you recommend...
No, only the once.
Okay. Would you recommend people go to the theatre and check this movie out? Becky, why don't you kick us off?
Oh yeah, I really liked it. I thought it was great. I kind of actually looked today to see if I could see it again before the podcast because we saw it a couple weeks ago. But it was great. I really liked it. Yes, go watch it.
Cool. Randy?
Yeah, I would say it's worth your money. I'll say that.
Yeah.
Give it your money. Juice, what about you?
Yeah, I would definitely recommend. This movie's getting all kind of buzz, like globally, winning all kind of awards at any kind of festival or like anything it goes through. So if you haven't heard about the hype now, it's like it just keeps rolling, keeps getting bigger. So definitely check this movie out.
Get in while you can still say you saw it first.
I saw it first.
I made this movie.
Whoa.
Yeah, I would agree with everyone. This movie is pretty damn solid. It's not a straight horror by any means. It's kind of like a big blend of genres. It's got like some family drama in there. It's also very funny throughout a large portion of it, and there's some pretty thriller-y / horrific stuff going on as well. So it's a nice blend of stuff. Yeah, check it out. I'm gonna go and drop the spoiler warning, and we're gonna get into Parasite.
Spoiler warning.
You've been warned. All right. Have you guys seen Oakjaw? Which is
I never did.
the same director. Okay, that was the one he did before Parasite. I was just curious. I hadn't seen that either.
I have it. It's on Netflix. I heard I was looking at just kind of his filmography.
Yeah.
And I heard that one is like a kind of like a big commentary on like eating meat or just like how you treat animals and stuff like
Okay.
that. Because like there's like this huge like giant animal in it that is like the best friend to like this child or something like
he's
that.
not-
I haven't seen it. Yeah, probably. So yeah, he's always like, because then he also made like Snowpiercer, and that's obviously got a big like social commentary built in. So yeah, this he's got something to say.
There's a lot of
Yeah,
YouTube videos about Snowpiercer being a sequel to Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
yeah, I
Look
love
that shit
that.
up if you want to have a good time because it's silly and it's fun as fuck.
I don't want to have a
Anyway.
good time. I'm not doing it, man.
He made a film in 2009 called Mother that I have
Mother.
not seen. Yeah, not the Mother with
Yeah.
Kevin
Not
Hart.
the mother.
Yeah.
And The Host, which we have covered on this cast.
We have,
before.
yeah.
Some time
He didn't
ago.
do Train to Busan, did he?
No.
No. I read a review saying that was mentioned, but not the same guy. Okay.
Nope. So to get into this movie a little bit here. So yeah, we've got like a family of 4 living in Korea, and they're pretty poor. They don't have any jobs. They kind of fold up some pizza boxes at one point to get a little cash.
They're hustling on the side.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're trying to make money where they can, and they have 2 kids, a boy and a girl. The boy, his friend is tutoring this little girl, this wealthy couple's little girl in math, and he's about to like go abroad, and he recommends his buddy take over tutoring duties. So he does that. So the family starts making a little income that way, just via his tutoring sessions. And while he's there, the mother of the rich family mentions that they need an art tutor for their other kid. And so he recommends his sister, but does not tell them that they're related.
And they falsify a bunch of documents
Yeah.
to pretend to be.
Yeah, they make fake documents. They say like she studied in like Illinois and stuff like
Which
that.
is hilarious.
She's
We
a
were in
designer.
Illinois when we saw it. People are like, what the fuck?
She designs all their shit in Photoshop.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's really
Yeah,
good.
in the PC bong, which was
Yep.
dope. So like, it's go to like PC rooms here to play like games or whatever. And that's where she was making all like the fake documents. They just went to the PC room.
Well,
and
they
she-
didn't have internet. They were like, they found one
Yeah.
spot in their house where they could steal internet from a
Yeah.
cafe.
They were hustlers for sure.
Yeah.
Well, they were poor as dirt.
They one by one basically become employed by this wealthy family. The dad gets a job as a driver for the rich family, and then the mom basically becomes the maid. And the
housekeeper.
yeah, the housekeeper. And in order for them to get these jobs, the driver's job and the housekeeper job, they have to like fabricate situations for the current driver and housekeeper to be fired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they do that.
It's hilarious.
Yeah, and there's
So the lies get like bigger and bigger and bigger.
Italian Job sort of thing where they just like they actually poison the maid. Like,
Well, she's allergic to peaches, so they
Yeah.
get peach fuzz off the peaches and like sprinkle it in her hair and stuff.
Yeah.
And
Fuck her
convince
over
the
hard.
family that she has like tuberculosis.
yeah, and she's highly contagious.
Yeah.
It's fucking
Yeah, the first half of this movie is very much like a black comedy.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
the thing, the way they're tricking this family and like getting these other people like ruining their lives and getting them fired. It's like dark, but it's like also like really funny.
really
Like
funny.
how they go, like you said, like an Italian Job, but they're just like spraying peach fuzz everywhere and like shit like that.
I love
It's
they
like
got
ludicrous,
they got
but
the
they're
original
successful.
driver fired by the daughter to getting a ride home, and she just took off her panties and left them in the car for the dad to find the Father Park.
take your panties off. Yeah.
And they end up like
That's some quick fucking thinking.
Yeah, I guess they had a loose plan because as she's doing that, you're watching the movie and you're just kind of like, what the fuck is this girl doing?
Yeah.
'Cause she just leaves him there and doesn't like say anything about it to the driver. She just leaves him there. And she's talking to her brother about it, and he's like, "Oh, so we're moving into the next phase already." So they kind of had it worked out, to where they're all planning on becoming employed by this wealthy family. And at the very beginning of the movie, they're given a gift, and it's basically just a big rock. And I guess it's supposed to be some sort of good luck charm for them to be more financially
Prosperous.
successful. Yeah. So it seems to be working at the beginning of the movie, anyways. And they, as they're all working for this family, they pretend that they're not related. They don't really know each other. And then, so the family, the rich family, they go out on this camping trip, for their son's birthday. And while they're out, the Kims, which are the people who are now employed by the parks, they decide that they're just going to live in this mansion over the weekend while the family's out, and they're hooting and hollering and eating and drinking and causing a mess and
Just daydreaming about living there for real.
yeah, pretending like it's theirs. But I guess a big storm rolls through and the parks cancel the camping trip, and they turn around, come back home.
Well, even before that,
yeah, the
housekeeper shows up at the door asking if she can
Yeah.
grab something out of the basement that she left.
Yeah.
It's like I left something.
She's acting real squirrely. And she has like a black eye or something, or like she's
Yeah.
fucked
She's
up.
like dirty,
she's in a-
yeah.
Yeah.
But that
And,
was a creep.
She just looks like she's been having like a rough time.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
she like
definitely.
once because she essentially like lived at the house or whatever, I guess. Or
She's like a living housekeeper.
and
Yeah.
so it looks like she's like been like living on the streets and she's been gone for a couple weeks or something like that.
And she was really put together before, so like we see her kind of like really broken down. And you're like, oh, this poor woman. They let her in.
Yeah.
Well, I
And then
thought it was like, yeah, I thought for sure when she was let in, though, she was going to be like crazy and like kill them all.
Yeah.
But she doesn't. She goes about her business and like actually goes to the
Yes,
basement.
well, kind of. Yeah, she goes down and she goes about her business, but her business is fucking wild.
Yeah.
So she goes down.
Yeah, this movie like turns.
Yeah.
This is like when it like switches gears, like
Yeah.
because that night is just like a huge pivotal point and a lot of like the tone changing from into like a more horrific, and also just like that's when like the despair kind of sets in for the family, because up until this point they've been like really successful, like they're doing their kind of funny like ploys to take over this kind of like rich but kind of like ditzy family, like they're just like super naive and easy to manipulate. But then like that night where it like switches like to dark and like they have this celebration, but then the housekeeper comes back, like that changes like everything. It's like raining that night. It's like really like changes the mood completely.
Yeah, it goes from like fucking Home Alone to The Strangers in like one scene. It's crazy.
Yeah. But so she goes downstairs, and this house, so it's owned by this like super rich family, and it was built by this architect that she was the housekeeper for the architect as well. So when he built the house, like, so she knows like everything about it. But it's got this like, of course, like hidden, almost like panic room or whatever. 'Cause like, in case the North Korea missiles come or whatever they say, like, that's like a bunker. But she's got her husband living down there. Like nobody even knew she was married. But Her husband's living down there, and there's a couple like really, even though it's still really dark and kind of scary when you see this guy, there's still like some really funny things, and there's some connections to like these two poor families like share. So you find out there's this hidden guy in there, and like their family, the housekeeper and her husband, and then they're interacting with this other family who has gotten her fired and like taken over this house. And they essentially like go to war with each other because they don't want to get outed. Like, so they're like, oh,
they both are reliant on this rich family, thinking that they're like the shit, and like, in order to survive. Their husband was down there without food for like 3 days because nobody could get in, or nobody would know even to go in there. And she managed to weasel in, and like it was so funny because they referenced earlier in the movie how like the father, the dad of the Park family, the matriarch, or patriarch rather, he was like, the only problem with her is she eats enough for 2 people. It's crazy. It talks about how much she eats. Turns out it's because she's been sneaking food to her husband at night.
Yeah. Well, and the guy was down there, and he was kind of like stir crazy. He reminded me of Peter Pettigrew from Harry Potter. Like once he was done being the mouse, just like was just entrapped and didn't know how to act. It was crazy.
Socialized or something.
Yeah, but then the
I
Kim
think
family,
he said he's been down there for like 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, it was.
He's hiding out. He's hiding out from debt collectors.
Yeah.
So he's
loan sharks.
You had to hide him away from debt collectors.
And he was also
which
like,
I want to talk about that later. That's a lot of like where the connection comes from and stuff. Like the two families, the poor families.
The he also at one point, this comes into play later on, but he worships the Park family, the guy in the basement, in the bunker.
Yeah,
he worships them, and he like tries to send them Morse code messages
through the lights,
through turning on the lights that he somehow has a switch for downstairs. They just think it's broken, and there's like, that thing's fucked up again. And he's down there,
but they're messages of praise.
Yeah, it's like,
they're not like help me or anything. They're just like, you're the best. Yeah,
like, thank you for all your blessings. He praises him like he's God. Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that whole scene where the family comes home early from the camping trip is fucking hilarious. It like everything that goes down is incredible. So like the family has to clean up their mess really quickly, and the lady, the original housekeeper, gets like pushed down the stairs, and she gets like a pretty bad head injury. And so she's like bleeding out, and then the rest of the family who is employed by the Parks, they're all like hiding underneath this huge coffee table in the living room. And the little boy comes home, and he decides that he still wants to go camping, so he pitches his tent out in the backyard, and
which is like just a glass wall between the coffee table, living room, and the garden area that he's camping in.
And Mom and Pop Kim, they decide they're gonna like sleep on the couch so that they can keep an eye on their son camping in the backyard.
So then they start fooling around on the couch,
and before they start diddling each other, which is hilarious. And so the whole family can like hear them diddling because they're underneath the coffee table. But before that, Mr. Kim starts talking or Mr. Park starts talking about Mr. Kim and how it kind of smells like him in the house, even though he's not there. And the wife is like, well, what are you talking about? What does he smell like? And he's like, when you boil rags, he kind of smells like that.
It's funny, but it's also like
he talks about how people like he talks about how people who ride the subway like smell like that. So it's essentially he's like
he's a poor man.
Yeah,
not
he
a rich
smells
man.
poor.
He smells like the proletariat.
But I think that like is a turning point too for the dad, and like recognizing
it becomes one later.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, that whole scene is crazy, and they're there for a while until they fall asleep. And at one point, even the couple from downstairs got the upper hand. I forget exactly how, but they held them at gunpoint before getting knocked back and not pushed down the stairs and so forth. And then eventually they do escape, and they're like, all right, well, we need to get out of here. We'll go back to our house and regroup. They go to their house. There's a fucking torrential storm happening all night, by the way. Yeah. And their whole apartment and their whole neighborhood basically has completely fucking flooded, and they have nothing.
Yeah.
Shit is rising out of their toilet and blasting them.
Literal shit.
Literal shit.
Sewage.
And And while they're doing that, it keeps going back and forth, showing like the rich family, and they're like nice, because for them it's a peaceful night. Like, oh, it's raining, and they get to watch it through this beautiful like glass window, and their son is just like pitching it in the back in their huge yard, while they're like this other family, like everything is completely destroyed. This one girl like just like sitting like on the toilet as they like spew sewage all over their house and everything like that. It's a great like that scene is fucking amazing.
Yeah. Them like running through the city at night through the rain, like getting back home to find their flooded apartment. It's probably my favorite scene of the whole movie, because the way it's shot is just so beautiful. Like how everything's framed and following them throughout the city. It's freaking gorgeous.
And but it's so fucking heartbreaking.
It is. Yeah. It is.
Well, they end up like going to a shelter, and like everyone's lost their home, so it's like everyone's just fucked.
And then the next day, like first thing in the morning, they get calls from their employers like, "Oh, hey, we need you today. Come on in. We're gonna throw a party. I need you to help me throw a party for my son." And it's like, and they're all just like sitting there in a fucking shelter. And they're like, "I guess we'll have to dig and find some clothes that we can wear." And man, it's so sad. And they do it because they have to. They fucking have to. They have nothing left. And that's when the dad and the son have a little minor heart-to-heart that's really depressing. And then eventually they go and
they start talking about like the plan, like what are we gonna do and how are we gonna like get around this? Because now somebody's like dying in the basement or whatever. So the kid like just like he comes up with a plan himself. Like I'm gonna go down there. He doesn't like share with anybody, but he's like gonna go down there and kill them essentially with the rock, the gifted rock, which is a great like
he's
like
clinging
symbolic
to that
nature
rock.
of it. He's what he took from their house is that gifted rock that's supposed to bring them like riches and stuff like that and prosperity, and that's what he's gonna use to like crush the people down in the basement.
It's true. And then but I love that his dad he's telling his dad like, well, what's the plan? His dad's like, you know what? And he was like, you said you had a plan earlier, right, Dad? And he's like, no, I never have a plan. If you have a plan, it gets fucked up. So I don't have plans because I don't want them to fuck up.
And that's important. That's important too. So one thing. I guess let's finish up the plot. So they go to the party, and that's where shit goes down. So they go to the party, and the kid is going to go kill the people in the basement with the rock. The housekeeper has already died. So she died from her head injury that she got when she fell down the stair, when she got pushed down the stairs. So her crazy husband, who's been living in a basement for like 4 years, has now been living with his dead wife over the night. She's died. So when he goes down, so when he goes down to kill those people, the guy gets the better of him, and the son gets like beaten in the head with a rock instead. You think he's dead?
You definitely think he's dead.
Because it looks like his head gets like smashed with a giant rock or whatever.
Oh, he's dead.
Does.
He's very dead.
It's like that's a death blow for sure. And then crazy guy who, by the way, has been slamming his head into that light switch all night and is bleeding all
That's
over
right.
the place.
Yeah.
Like terrifying. He comes
So
up
this is the horror scene essentially, I guess, is this dude in the basement. But he comes out and wrecks the party. He stabs the daughter.
As she brings out a cake in front of a crowd.
The Kim's daughter.
Kim's daughter.
And then the mom tackles his ass. And then they're wrestling, and he gets stabbed. Who kills him? Does the dad?
The dad does. The dad sees this happen, and he gets up and walks over to
with a tomahawk. He's got a tomahawk.
Because the whole thing is that the party is Native American themed because the son is obsessed with Native Americans. And the dad is making him play act like a Native American with a headdress and all this shit, and he's like really demeaning to him while he's doing this.
Yeah.
So he's sniffing, like he can smell something that smells terrible, and it's like the dad is at the lowest part of his life right now.
Yeah.
It's complete bottoming out, and he watches his daughter get stabbed, so he gets up with that tomahawk and slashes that dude.
Yeah, he kills Mr. Kim, the father of the poor family, kills also Mr. Park. So after he's killed the murderer who has killed his daughter, he also, because what happens is actually his daughter is still bleeding out. So they're like trying to get her to a hospital, but while they're doing that, they're like, help or whatever. And instead, like Mr. Park, the rich dad, he like does this thing like with the smell, like, oh, something smells like terrible.
He goes to get the keys. Right?
Oh yeah, the key to the car, yeah.
The dad, because Mr. Lee, the dad who just stabbed the attacker, he's supposed to drive him. He's like, "Come on, I need you," and he's like not knowing that his daughter has just been stabbed, and he's got his own daughter.
Yeah.
But then, so Mr. Park goes to grab his keys from near the basement guy, the bunker guy. And he like holds his nose and is like acting like repulsed by the guy, even though he's dead or whatever. He can't hurt him. He's like gingerly touching him and grabbing his keys. And that's just it. That's just it for Mr. Kim.
Yeah, he can't
enough.
take that shit.
And he tomahawks that dude in the back, if I remember correctly.
Yep. And then he hauls some ass and winds up hiding in the secret room in the house. And he uses
the ending is fucking brilliant. This movie.
He uses the whole Morse code thing to communicate with his son, and his son writes a letter back to his dad explaining that he's gonna go get a job and become wealthy and make enough money to buy the house and reunite his family. And that's pretty much the end of the movie.
Well, they do a flash forward.
Well, yes.
Yeah.
And you think it's like, oh, wow, it happened. And then it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Because he's like, the whole thing is the son's like, the son is watching the house.
Yeah.
I think he suspects that like they've sold the house to some unaware American company from Montana or some shit. And
he doesn't even suspect that. What happened? So, okay, the way the Park family ends up, the daughter dies. So she's dead. The father is on the run and hasn't been seen or heard from. The son, since you think he's dead, the Kim family. The son, since he got bashed in the head with a rock, is like now mentally disabled. Like he's fucked up, like mentally. And him and his mom are like prosecuted for like fraud and like all this shit. So they have to like and then they just end up back in their like shitty apartment with no dad, no daughter,
tailed by cops all the time.
And actually, the son is like so fucked up and also just so depressed. He goes and watches the house because that was the only place they kind of found any sort of like happiness together. And as he's doing so, he notices the lights, and it turns out the father just does a message in Morse code every night, hoping that his son is watching the house. And it's like, hey, I'm just like living in this basement and I gotta stay here forever or else like I'm fucked. I'm obviously like I killed somebody. And so the son is like writing this letter like, oh dad, I'm gonna break you out, but like I'm gonna buy the house, I'm gonna be successful. And there's just like a lot of social commentary in that, which I can on like from a Korean perspective, but it just ends with a bleak like everybody's screwed.
His
like,
big plan, which by the way is a plan which his father said don't bother with. His plan to get his father free from this situation is just to become successful enough to buy this incredibly opulent house and then let him out one day. And they show it happening, and you kind of think, oh, did it somehow happen? And how's this going to end? And then it cuts back to him writing the letter again, showing that that's just his imagination. And it's like your plan is just a fantasy. That's really like the takeaway at the end. It's fucking bleak at the end. And it is like, he doesn't even have a way to send that message to his father. Like, if you think about like, he has no light he can turn on and off in the guy's bunker. So
what? Tell us a little bit about this and how this. Like, what does this mean, Justin? You live in Korea. You've been there for a little bit. Like,
what does it mean?
I feel like it obviously means probably more to you than it does to us.
Well, there's a couple things that even I went to go see it, and I was talking about it with like a Korean friend, and just like there were some things that I was able to pick on and some things that she helped me see like, oh, like makes some more sense of. So one is the connection with the two poor families. And it's mentioned a couple times. And it's really funny because I've talked with you guys about this particular like funny thing that happens in Korean, except now it's in this movie. It's like kind of dark and bleak. But when I came to Korea, they had these food trends. So like every like 6 to 8 months, it seems like there's this new like food trend where like these restaurants erupt and everyone wants to sell like this like one kind of thing. And it's like similar to like clothing trends, like, oh, this is hot, this is popular right now. And like a bunch of them boom and open. And then after a while, you just don't see them anymore. Like one shop might stick around, two shops, but like people get tired of it and they want like a new food trend. So what they mention in this, the reason that this family is poor is because they opened up one of those shops. So apparently Thai cake shops were really popular at one point. And it turns out that both of these families, the housekeeper, the reason that guy indebted to the shark is because they both ended up opening these Thai cake shops. And she was telling me, my friend, that apparently something that happened is there was some celebrity that like criticized them, like, oh, they don't use like fresh ingredient or something about like that it not being healthy or something. And like overnight, literally, they all just like shut down. Like it was like this is kind of thing of where like, oh, people are like listening to like celebrities. And also it's just like a very like not stable business anyways, because it's a food trend. And so that was kind of the connection between these two families, because we see that the boy, he is friends with this. The way he gets the job initially is he has a friend who's like super successful, and his friend is going to study abroad, and they came up studying together. But because his family lost all the money, he couldn't continue his studies. So it's almost like this is the life you could have had. Like, because his friend is like, oh, I'm going to go study in Europe for like 6 months. I need you to take over my job. Like, they're close friends, and he knows his sister and everything. And it's almost like, man, if your dad hadn't like spent all his money on this like Thai cake shop or whatever, like this is like kind of the life you would have had, like just more normal, like, you know, or whatever. But so that's a big thing. And it's essentially like, that's the biggest commentary on like, both of these families need this rich family to survive, but instead of like attacking the rich family, like they fight each other. Obviously, that's a big critique on just society in general, is how immediately the families turn on each other, where they're more alike than anything else. Like they're the ones who are like, oh, we both lost our money to a Thai cake shop, and like, you know, and stuff like that. So that's definitely like a big one. Huge, is like the differences between like the rich family and the poor families and how they got there. And that's kind of the thing about this family too, is like the Park family is rich and they look down on the Kim family. But it was only because of that unfortunate situation where they actually, so it's not like they're like, just were always poor. Like even the girl she knows like Photoshop really well. Like they at one point, like they were going through life like regular, and they just happened to like make a poor investment, and actually they're all really qualified to do the job.
Yeah, they are. That's all
the
really
funny
good
thing
at their
about
jobs.
it. Yeah, and there's even this one special scene. So when they're having the birthday party, there's this one scene. So the son falls in love with the rich daughter. He's teaching her English, and he's actually really good at it. Like he's her English tutor, and he's like really good at it. But they fall in love or whatever, and he asks her like, do I fit in here? Yeah. And she just thinks like he's well-educated, well-off guy. And she's like, well, yeah, of course you fit in here. Like, and that's such a big thing of like, just like the walls that we create in our mind when we think somebody is rich or we think somebody's poor. He was like, I don't belong at this rich party, but she just thought he was rich. So she was like, well, of course you belong here. What are you talking about?
That scene reminded me a lot of, for any of the Wire fans, there's a scene in the first season of The Wire where D'Angelo, who's a drug dealer, takes his girlfriend. He's kind of like a mid-level guy, takes his girlfriend out to like a really nice restaurant, and he's like, do you think they know what I do for a living? And his girlfriend's like, whatever, you got money, who gives a fuck? And then, you know, all that shit. I don't want to spoil anything else about that, but like that scene reminds me so much of like, you know, like do you belong here? Like, I spent all my life doing this one thing that was more about survival than pleasure. Can I really like sit back and enjoy a fucking garden party now? Like a rich person can. Like, how do I have luxury? How do I enjoy luxury in a way that's not also as dirty as my life has felt for so long? And which is how they sort of like celebrate their night alone in the house. Their big happy moment is just fucking around in the house and eating takeout on their big fucking couch and like laying out on the lawn and shit and like taking a bath. It's like, yeah, I fucking, I don't know. It's really bleak commentary about like the haves and have-nots, and it's like it's not hidden at all. I wouldn't say it's subtext even. It's very, very textual to the story, and it's complicated shit.
It's a weird feeling too watching this movie because there's many times, and like when I pick up where the rich family, you'll obviously notice like their obsession with the United States. So one is like the kid like obsessed with like American Indians, and they say like, oh, his tent was made in the US. So and also just yeah, exactly. And also just throughout the movie, it's really, really funny because this shit actually happens, but they'll just say like, they'll be speaking Korean, and they'll just say like random like English phrases in English randomly. And it's used as a way to show like that they know English or like, that they're like, it's just like really funny. It's because somebody, when I was trying to learn Korean, somebody was explaining the way, like, you know how like we think like, oh, French restaurants and French like cuisine and stuff, and we think it's kind of like fancy or whatever, like, oh, ooh la la and like shit like that. Well, like that's kind of what like English is in Korean or like or in Korea. Like they kind of use it as a way of like, oh, this is like a fancy kind of like language and area. And so it's funny that this rich family, they just like randomly throw out like random English phrases like throughout the movie, and like just their obsession. Oh, like they had to lie and say that the girl studied in Illinois. Like, oh yeah, she went to it. And it was funny to me. I was like, Illinois? Like I was trying to explain to my Korean friend, I was like, Illinois is not like an illustrious place. It's not like saying like I went to school in New York. Like I'm sure they have good art schools there, but it's just funny if you're not familiar just to say like, oh, I went to school in Illinois. I was like, I think that's like it's ridiculous.
Kind of random. Like, it made me, we were in Illinois and people in the theater laughed at that line.
I was saying like Chicago, but even that, like you would say Chicago, not Illinois.
It's a world-class city, but they're talking about Illinois specifically, and it's just like,
it's
like anywhere in America could, like the most like sort of like mid-level like Americana place is the most like, oh wow, like that was the
exactly and the joke is, I guess it's like more about just the fact that it's the United States and they actually don't even probably know anything about Illinois. And that's why it's like funny. It's like, who cares about Illinois? Like, like why is that? That's not like some
if we heard something
bit.
About like fucking I don't know, like Crete or something, or like I don't know, some Italian town, any Italian town. You're just like, oh wow, I'll bet that's really, really nice. And it could be like, I don't know, Jacksonville. The Jacksonville of Italy. Can't wait to go.
Whoa. Shots fired. Cool. Is there anything else that you picked up on, Juice, like commentary-wise that was going on?
I was trying to look at a couple different things. No, I think mainly just, and the commentary too on just like how easy it was for this like family to go from just regular normal people, like to where, you know, the kid has a friend who's like super successful and still friends with the family, and like to go from nothing, like how fragile it was, like how easy it was for them, but still how they were still qualified. Like it's all perception. Like the kid was still a good English teacher. Like he like excelled at like the task he was given. They all did.
But you can't, and even if the girl without a fake degree.
Exactly. But unless you lie and forge documents and say you went to school in Illinois or say you're part of like this illustrious club, it's like all so fake. It's all just like perception of where you fit in society.
More about being a successful hustler than it is about being good at your job.
I think it also talks about like the rich people, because they made a big point, like they're ditzy rich people. They're not like old money. They're very much like a new money
They're not
family.
savvy, yeah.
So even to them, like they just fool the shit out of them. Like I don't know. I think that was kind of interesting too.
It was. It's like
it wasn't just the people hustling. It's like they just got fooled at the same time, and they're the ones like, oh, Illinois. But I think an old money person might be like, oh, that's bullshit.
Because that's perception too. Like they're trying to hold on to what they got. Like they don't, but they do that by saying like, oh, okay, well, I'm going to go with the person who went to school in Illinois. That makes them feel good about their decision, even though that person didn't go to Illinois and didn't live in Illinois and totally can do the same job equally well. Yeah.
And like the way the family lives like so lavishly too. For the most part, they're kind of like innocent in a way. Like they're just really ditzy and dumb, and just like kind of rich snobs. But like there's this one scene where they come back that's like really funny, where they're coming back from the camping trip, and the mom wants the housekeeper woman, like the rich Miss Park wants Miss Kim to make Ramdan, which is
dude, I was just thinking about it.
So essentially, like there's this, it's what any Korean kid would have like as a snack, and it's called like I think it's japaghetti, which is like just this like it's almost like an instant form of like jjajangmyeon, which would be like an instant form of like ramen. Instead of like going out to a Japanese restaurant and having like ramen, they have like instant ramyeon. But instead of having jjajangmyeon, they have japaghetti, which is like just like instant form. But so she makes that and then makes her put like sirloin steak in it. It's like this great.
Oh yeah, I would have never.
So it's like, so the noodles are like what a tip, but like you can go down to the CU, like or like down to the convenience store and buy like the noodles, the instant noodles for like less, like 50 cents, or it's like an instant snack meal that kids like love to have. But then it's like got sirloin steak. She makes her cut for this kid who's like 8 years old.
Sounds
who
good.
Doesn't even want it or whatever. And it's just the way they live like so lavishly. It's just like so ridiculous. It's like a funny scene, but also at the same time, it's like sad. It's like fucked up because you're like, God, why are you putting sirloin steak into like 50-cent like noodles?
Is that like
it's so
adding sirloin steak to Beanie Weenies?
Exactly. Yeah. It'd be like, yeah, exactly.
Easy Mac with sirloin steak in it.
There you go.
Exactly. Yes.
Me too.
Yes.
I like Easy Mac.
Sounds
I like steak.
Easy Mac is good.
But the kid like is not even impressed by it. He's like, I'm not hungry. I don't want that. And then the daughter bitches because like the mom eats it. It's just like a funny kind of scene, but it just shows like how ridiculous they live.
That whole like the whole thing that I keep thinking of when I'm watching this movie, or that I thought of by the end, is this line that I've heard in a AJJ song, and it's you're only one or two bad decisions away from becoming the people that you fear and pity. And that's kind of where these people live. Like they live on this ivory tower that they could easily be knocked out off of. And there are people that worship them for just being there. And the world is set up to keep them there because they're the people that have the resources to keep themselves there. And then you have these people that have to glom on as hard as they can and have to scrap with each other as hard as they can just to survive, period. And to me, like that's like the biggest issue going in this movie, without question. It's a lot of that adds a lot of color to that, though. A lot of that Korean cultural stuff that I didn't know.
Yeah. Is there anything else you guys want to touch on before we get into our rating?
No.
That was most of my notes. Yeah.
Okay. Let's do it. Becky, you want to start us off out of 5?
Oh dear.
How you feel about Parasite?
Maybe like a 4.75.
Whoa.
I really liked it.
Someone's going with the quarters.
I thought it had, like we said, like good social undertones and all that, but I also have like a sad dad complexion that like makes me really, it's a complex.
Sad dad.
I have this thing like about dad aged men who like are going through rough patches. I don't know. It always like bums me out.
I have this thing for him.
I do. It really turns me on.
That explains a lot about our relationship, obviously.
But just like
that's why she calls you Diddy.
Well, it's I don't know. It's like it's really terrible of me being like a woman. I'm like, if I'm at a Walmart and the cashier's like a 40-year-old woman, I'm like, whatever. But if it's a 40-year-old man, I'm like, damn, this guy's like doing whatever it takes
That's that built-in misogyny, bro.
It is, I know. But and the best is waiters at a restaurant. If I have like a middle-aged man with a ring on that's bald with little gray specks coming in, I'm like, oh, this sucks. But if it was the mom, I wouldn't care.
What was the other movie? We watched another one around that time, and you had the same reaction.
Yeah.
There was a few of them. I don't know.
Well, I don't know. And like, I don't know what it is. Like it's just always, it makes me sad. And this kind of had definitely that tone. Like the dad just could not provide for this family. They couldn't provide for any of them, like mom or dad or kids. But I don't know. It was interesting.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember the other movie, but
I don't know. There were a few
Yeah.
that like right around that time, you watched like 3 movies that were like that.
sad dad movies.
Sad dad movies. It's a new genre for me now.
Sad dad.
Bonus points for the sad dad.
Yeah, it's
All right.
awful. Like it shouldn't be a thing, but it is. So
Yeah.
this definitely had some good sad dad vibes, and it was really like it was beautiful. The whole like tons of twists you weren't expecting. Like when the housekeeper came into the house and they saw her on the video like doorbell, I was like, oh, she's gonna come kill them, and that's when the horror is gonna start. But it was just totally a complete different direction. And like the party scene when they just like had a little stab match going on, that was crazy too. But I really liked it. I thought it was good.
Yeah,
Definitely like made us talk for a while afterwards, and I thought about it, and I'm still thinking about it. So I think that's good too. We worked in Santa Barbara, and it's not Korean, but I feel like there could definitely be a version of this. Lots of young money and just like a huge divide of like who's who in that town. Definitely could feel it there too. So
that's accurate.
yeah. So anyways, good movie. Go see it.
All right.
Get sad about the dad.
Diddy, how you feeling about Parasite?
So when I first got out of this movie, I was very interested in this. Like I was very intrigued by what I saw, obviously, and I've been thinking about it quite a bit. But when I first got out of the movie, I was really hung up on something that I almost never get hung up on, and that is the genre question. I was like, is this a horror movie? I don't know. Like I never split that hair. I don't like doing it. But ever since the Jurassic Park episode, go back and listen.
Broke you.
Yeah, I just don't care about that conversation anymore. But in this movie, I was just like, it's so like it's so dark, but also so funny in parts that I was just so like mixed up about it. And I just got really like sidetracked thinking about that. And I really think that comes from one thing. This is what I've pinpointed as the thing that caused that. It's that in most movies that we characterize as horror, even ones that are like sort of like borderline or that kind of like fluctuate, like they or like go into comedic areas or normal areas, and then they sort of like go back to horror the way this movie did. The one thing that this movie didn't do to that end was have an opening horror moment. So like thinking about like Us, like think about the movie Us, where it opens with the little girl in the fun house. That's your opening scene. You have a tone set for horror, and then you go to sort of like this fun family like slice of life shit for a while, and then the horror starts ramping up, and it feels like a whole horror movie that way. But this movie did not feel like a horror movie until the fucking one night. Like it took like 45 minutes to get to a part that felt like horror, and so I think that's what distracted me. Anyway, but once I got past that part and like stopped worrying about that, I think that this movie just has continually added to my thoughts about this movie. So like the returns I'm getting from thinking about this movie, they just keep growing. I keep thinking about this in different ways, and it keeps becoming more and more like complex and interesting. And there's like all these little details. Like just tonight, I learned a lot that was like added a lot to this movie. And so that's kind of the thing that I like best in a horror movie that's like high-minded like this, or has some sort of like strong point to make or strong voice. And I think that's good enough reason for me. That plus all of the amazing acting, the hilarious comedy, the deep dark fucking depths, and the beautiful shots and shot arrangements and blocking and so forth. I think it's a 5-star movie for me. And I think that could change, but I was at about where Becky was with a 4.75 right after the movie. But as time goes on, it just keeps adding, and I think that's just going to keep continuing. The more you think about this movie, the more it adds to itself. So that's me.
Cool. Juice, how you feel out of 5?
Yeah, I really enjoyed this movie too. Talking about one thing, this kind of happens a lot, and not just in Korean horror movies, but just like Koreans love to kind of blend genres more to where things aren't always like straight horror or whatever. But I think this does that, but it's used also in a way that helps tell the story of the family, similar to like just their life in general, where everything like starts off funny and is like happy and good, and they're actually like for a long time they're working in this house and successful, and it literally just takes one night for it all to fall to shit. Like it just takes one moment. It's so fragile, and then everything turns on its head. I think that's like a just another way that like they're using like this blend of genres to even add more depth to this film and kind of like help you understand and sympathize with this family and this situation. I think this movie just has a lot of depth in general. The acting was fantastic. That flood scene, like that whole night scene, it's such a blend of like suspension and like tension and some horror and just some like, but also there's still some really funny moments, like when the mom and dad are like diddling each other, and a lot like just even in that one scene, and then you get to the house and it's like also just beautifully shot and everything. There's just like so much to this film that's like fantastic. It's one of my favorite films that I've seen this year. It's just great filmmaking. And yeah, I'm going to give it a 5-star.
Wow.
It's a 5-star.
Well, damn.
I'm glad I'm not too
Two,
far
I know,
off.
Rob's
5
coming in with
stars
the two.
in a row.
Wow.
Rob coming in with the 1.5 here. Get ready. My
This
beer was
movie
terrible.
dog shit.
I
Too long.
I did not have a beer while watching this.
0 stars.
This movie fucking sucks. No,
Rob, what do you think about Parasite?
let me tell you what I think about Parasite. I like how this movie is kind of like a grab bag, like we've all sort of mentioned as far as the genre is concerned, and it's a bit of a roller coaster of emotion. It starts off with the drama and then gets into the comedy and then gets into the thriller horror stuff. I think my favorite thing about this movie is the cinematography, just like how it's pieced together and framed, and it's just a really like beautiful movie to look at. I like that it kept me laughing too. Something about it though, I think wasn't quite as big as I was anticipating it being. It's got a bit of like a People Under the Stairs vibe plot wise, but
There's literally someone under the stairs.
yeah.
No Everett McGill, but yeah, everything else.
Yeah, but it was like ultimately a little more straightforward than I think what I was anticipating. I think my expectations kind of threw me off a little bit here because it being called Parasite, I think I was expecting it to be more of like some sort of disease or outbreak of some sort.
I
So
thought
was like
that too, yeah.
kind of waiting for that to drop, and it never really does. So I was like, I'm building myself up for something that I wasn't getting. So that is sort of my own fault. I'd like to watch it again, knowing what it is actually about, though, and see if it feels more impactful than my first viewing. That's kind of all I have to add to it. I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5, though. I found it to be a little bit less compelling than you guys did, but overall, a very enjoyable movie.
Death to the non-believer.
Well, did you go in like knowing anything about the movie?
No, I didn't.
Okay, we didn't either, and I think that helped me like it more, but the name's a little off, but then once you watch, you're like, oh yeah, they're parasites. Wow.
Yeah, like the name sort of is sort of Hitchcockian, and it's like, okay, so who's the parasite here? And you know, that sort of, I don't know. Was the name the Parasite like in Korean? Like in Korea, was it released under like the Korean equivalent of the name?
I mean, it has a Korean name, but I'm pretty sure I have it here. I'm pretty sure it translates to Parasite.
That's what I was wondering.
But
okay.
I'm pretty sure. Let me just double check on that because I do have it available because I want to include the Korean title in like our post or whatever. So I had it pulled up. But yeah, I'm pretty sure it translates to that.
Yeah, I was wondering if like Parasite meant, if it was like a different translation. That's why I didn't translate the right way. But I think it does translate for the movie. It's just
It definitely, like, to me, that's the theme of the movie. Is like, yeah, you're a parasite, but like by whose design are you? Like, it's by no real fault of your own. The whole movie kind of like rips to shreds the idea of any sort of real meritocracy, and just asks the question like, what do people really deserve for making a mistake financially? Like, what do people really deserve for, lucking into something? Or, like, I don't know.
So it translates to a like specific name, like a specific parasite, which is a parasitic worm. It's essentially like a tapeworm. So it's a type of parasite. So it's not a direct translation to parasite, but the term is helminth, HELMINTH. I had to look it up. It's a parasitic worm.
Interesting.
Like a tapeworm.
Like, that's interesting. Obviously they chose for American audiences the word that we would recognize, and the word that is actually way more applicable to financial situations as much as it is to
Well, I didn't think it was that. I thought they were sucking off the family and the family was sucking off them.
Yeah,
more
no,
than
it
anything.
is.
Yeah.
Everybody's just sucking off.
Yeah, no, it is.
Sucking off everybody
Suck
in this
off
movie.
everyone.
We're all
It's
getting
just a
sucked
big
off.
suck
Which,
job,
if it
this
was
movie.
specifically like a tapeworm or something, it might make a little more sense with a person living like in the house,
Actually, yeah,
like
that's
being
true.
like burrowed
Yeah.
in the house or whatever. So yeah,
You're living inside the beast.
But calling it tapeworm in America would be kind of weird. So
Tapeworm.
But yeah, the word parasite
Tapeworm.
is more like, because you hear people referring to like people with less, the have-nots, as parasites if they're like,
yeah.
take too much from the economy and all this, like, whatever, like that happens. That happens. People react to things.
No,
like that.
absolutely. Yeah.
Well, that's going to put our aggregate at a 4.7. Let's go ahead and jump over into our Rotten Tomatoes segment and see what the critics and users think about Parasite.
Certified fresh to death.
Juice, take it away.
All right, let's go around the table. We have 321 critics who have rated this movie on Rotten Tomatoes. So we'll start with the critics. We'll go around the table. We'll see if you guys can guess what the critics rated this one. We'll start ladies first. Bex, kick us
dear.
off. What do you think the score is?
I'm going to go to the opposite of 69 and say 96.
Oh shit! That's
96.
ass to back
Wow.
of your forehead, back of your head.
It's equally as good.
Yeah, but even better.
I like to lay my
don't know
head
why.
on an ass, and I like to have my ass laying on a head. That's the 96.
Yes, sir. Randy, what's your guess?
I got it. I mean, the hype around this is insane. I know it's done really well in like festivals and shit. So I'm gonna also go pretty damn high. I'll cover the lower range of that though and say 92.
You'll say what?
92.
92. Gotcha. Okay. And Bob?
69, please.
Oh, man.
Comedy numbers come in threes.
Bex is going to take it away. Wow. This is certified fresh.
Yeah, it is.
With an overall 321 reviews, 99.
Holy
Damn.
shit. Wow.
That's
So
as
there's
good
like
as a Toy
one
Story.
dude out there. There's one dude.
There's a 1%er somewhere
Rob.
fucking it all up.
Somewhere out there, there's an
Four.
incredibly wealthy reviewer who's
Yeah.
like, I don't care for this film one bit.
I need those people to survive. Who also make my ramen at
Mr.
night?
Raymond.
Mr.
I'm supposed to
Monopoly
feel
Man.
bad for these people. No, I think not.
Oh my god. Well, great.
All right. So, yep, 99%. The critic consensus is an urgent, brilliantly layered look at timely social themes. Parasites finds writer-director Bong Joon-ho in near total command of his craft. So, yeah, just praise.
Yeah.
All right.
Just straight fillation there.
Yeah.
Total
Jerking
command.
it off.
We're all getting sucked off.
Yeah. We're all, wow.
Getting done, dudes.
We're getting done, dudes. All right, let's hop into the audience score. 2,721 people have rated this on Rotten Tomatoes on the user side. We'll go backwards.
Oh my.
And Rob, kick us off. What do you think the Oozers rated this?
I'm gonna go with a 90.
90?
Wow.
Yeah.
What happened to
Okay.
the comedy, Bob? I used to know.
Randy?
I'm going to say, okay, I think it's hovering in that area too. I'm going to stick with 92 just for the fuck of it.
92. And Bex?
I'm gonna say
That's not a number.
I was either gonna go below Randy or above Rob, but I just don't know.
I mean, God, the choices are endless.
I'm gonna do 93.
Oh,
93.
sandwich.
So wait, it was okay. It doesn't matter. Becky just nailed it again. 93 on the dot.
Oh, really? I thought it was,
I was about to say, what was
$1 me.
I was about to say, what's everybody's numbers again? But I was like, it doesn't matter. Becky nailed it. 93.
well, great.
Yes. So yeah, good job, Bex. Woo,
Thanks.
sweeping the board. Welcome back.
I tried. It was a good movie.
Yeah. All right. So that is Rotten Maters.
That's it. That's the Rotten Maters.
The Rot Toes.
Randy, you got no trivia, correct?
Not enough to do a
Randy
segment.
has bailed on the trivia section for this
Sorry,
week.
trivia.
What a loser.
Everybody at him, let him know you're pissed off.
Put it on his resume.
Yep.
Failed trivia.
At
Do your job,
Robbie Knopf
Randy.
is my handle.
Nope.
That's not a real handle.
Nope. At Diddy Did It Dirty. Let's
Diddy did it dirty.
He did it dirty.
let's go ahead.
At Sad Dads did a dirty.
We were talking about, a real quick side note, today or this weekend, we were talking about I don't like the boy mom trend right now, like hashtag boy mom. They were talking about girl dads, but then you add girl
What
dad D, and it just takes it to a whole nother level.
It's true. So you're probably
What
going
is
to explain
boy
what all of
mom?
those things are.
So a boy mom, it's a mom who is a mom to all boys. So they're like, I'm a boy mom. Look at all the dicks I have to see flapping around all the time.
I'm surrounded by
Put Cheerios in the
I don't
toilet
think
for
they
him to
focus so
aim,
much
and just
on the
very
dicks.
like, oh, let's big the Cheerios in the toilet and like rough and tough outside and all that shit.
it's like the tomboy of moms.
Yeah.
Shit.
And
Okay,
then
I gotcha.
And there's girl dads like, oh, I touched my daughter's hair for the first time in her life. Oh my god!
I learned
Or,
how to do a French braid.
yeah,
but
I'm
then
a girl dad.
If you hashtag girl daddy,
Then we just
then
get
you have a
sexy
sex
with
offender.
It. There is no line.
It's a
Oh,
a
this
2-letter line.
Yes. Anyways, reminded me of
Sounds
whatever we're
like
just talking
some
about.
bullshit. Middle
Yeah, I'm not a
America.
fan. Middle America, yeah.
some Illinois shit.
Oh shit,
That's
that's
kind
really
of a
nice.
Midwestern
though.
thing, yeah.
It's really nice.
Daddy did it dirty. Let's go ahead and go hunting, ladies and gents. Speaking of cooters,
Oh, I don't know what
who
this.
we got?
I don't know what go hunting was, but now I know.
Yeah. We're
Okay.
hunting.
Oh yeah.
We're
Hunting
hunting.
cooters.
I'm for cooters.
Justin, why don't you let everybody know who's listening for the first time at home exactly what a cooter is?
All right, we are hunting the cooter, so we need our cooter hunting tools. We are tracking the 5 points of cooterdom. They are sexual deviance, smug arrogance, manipulation, attire, and patheticness.
Oh, Jesus.
So,
I think
So,
there's
of the 5
a clear
points,
front runner here.
I don't know.
I think
and
it's
that's what
good.
I'm concerned about.
I think it's good to have 5 points because last week we were a little conflicted. Like, is it a strong cooter? I think to hit cooter, you should have like 3 of 5. Like, because that, you know,
Alright.
like before we just had 4. So who's going to hit at least 3 of 5 and maybe more to get the cooter cake? Who are we
I
talking?
think there's a clear front runner, and it makes me sad to say it because I kind of feel bad for this person.
Is it the sad dad, Mr.
Yeah.
King?
Well, no,
Oh.
it's not. It's the sadder dad. It's the bunker dad.
Yeah, he's a cooter.
Bunker dad. Well,
Bunker dad.
yeah. Well, he hits a tire because he is wearing horrifying rags, and it's not his fault. But he is.
Though.
He's like all fucked up, and he gets taped up and slams his head into like it's pathetic how much he fillets his master, Mr.
That's
Park.
true. That's
Master.
true.
What are our other points? It's sexual deviancy. No, not really. But
Arrogance? Not
arrogance. No. What's the last one? What am I missing here?
Smug arrogance, manipulation.
I don't know if he quite hits that either. So I just think he's the strongest contender. Is my thing. There's another.
He's got some wily eyes too.
Yeah.
Man.
I feel bad for him though, and I feel bad giving him the title of Cooter because he's just like he's the devolved version of Sad Dad. He's where Sad Dad heads at the end of this movie, and it's just a bummer because it's like it's only partially his fault. He's just trying to fucking survive because he's like gonna be killed by loan sharks if he leaves.
Yeah, I guess I just feel like not all that's his fault. You know,
I agree.
Thai cakes or no Thai cakes, not his fault.
The
but
real Cooter of the movie, Thai cakes.
Fuck Thai cakes. I don't know what that is, but I'm never eating one.
Fuck them.
The son, Q. So like the son we follow, he might be a better because he's macking on like a high school chick.
Yeah, that girl's 16
like
or something,
16.
right?
Yeah, she's young.
Yeah.
Do we know how
he
old
is
he
like
is?
He's at
college
least
age.
post 18 because he's
at
like
least,
when she's of age, I'll marry her or whatever.
Yeah, and yeah.
So that's
that hits
a little
that ding's a dingy.
But maybe she's a Cooter because she was also fucking the previous one too.
Yeah, that's true.
She's slinging
That's
leg.
true.
You know, like, everybody got to get done, dude.
I don't know that there's really a good Cooter in
I don't
this
think there's
movie.
a great candidate here.
Yeah.
Not a strong
Everybody
one.
is kind of. There's no villain in this movie. There's
No.
nobody who really raises your back and who is like deserving of punishment for being so shitty.
It's the fucking system.
Yeah.
man.
The system's the Cooter, man. The system's the Cooter, bro.
But see, Bob, that's why it's good to have 5 because the brother.
Oh, we
Q,
get it.
hits-
5,
Hang
blah,
on.
blah,
But
blah.
wait, but when he hits 2 points because he manipulates and he's sexual deviant, but he's not really pathetic. His fire's fine stuff. So you need an odd amount, Bob. to
He smells like
everything.
boiling rags. Does that count as
Well,
a
it depends on
fire?
the rich family thinks he's pathetic. So
They all think, no, they like him. Don't
yeah,
they?
but at the end, I'm sure like, oh, you're still pathetic. Like
Well, yeah.
poor
by the
kid
end,
and all
I
that
mean,
shit,
yeah.
but-
It's the whole.
You poor plebe.
I think
Yeah.
it's the system,
poor
bros. I think.
Yeah.
I think it's
All right.
capitalism's the Cooter, bro.
Jesus Christ.
Korean.
Now we've
capitalism.
done deities, we've done fucking
really-
mythical creatures as good. Now we're just talking about ideas as
Yeah.
good.
Look, man, the system's manipulative, bro, and it dresses weird too.
It'll touch your butt
Yes.
when you're not looking. So be careful.
It'll really butt fuck you when you don't want it.
Careful with that. All right. Well, I think we have hunted successfully. Let's go ahead and talk about some horror news.
Extra, read all about it.
Did you say horror nudes?
Yeah, we're talking about horror nudes.
All right,
I
Darcy's
would
thing this
really
week is
like
pretty
to
nude.
talk about horror. Holy crap! So I actually watched Joe Bob with the squad this week, and I was just like, "Is this chick just here?" Like most of the time, she just sits there silently with just huge fake yabos hanging out.
Well, she's the one you interact with on the socials.
Yeah.
He's always had a male
Okay.
girl who like reads his mail or brings his mail or whatever. She does it social media style. Darcy's a prince.
It's just awkward because she's just sitting right next to him, but he never really addresses her.
Oh,
like
he does, just to give
sometimes,
her
but,
shit.
but yeah, but most of, or to talk about her yabos, like he's like, "Oh, you got
yeah,
some
and
nice
this one
yabos."
especially,
Darcy.
yeah.
It's like, good lord.
Has
you-
never
Usually doesn't
said that
cover
about
that too much, but because of the Yabo scene at the end of this
Yeah.
Did you like hear her whole story, Justin?
Did I what?
Did you like hear her whole story that they talked about?
Yeah, they told their sad like they were
Their
like,
sad
"Oh, we're going to tell you
Christmas
sad
stories.
Christmas stories now."
Hers
and
is
they told real
absolutely
life
fucked
sad
up.
stories.
Yeah, she's got a story.
That shit is a fucking it's a real drama.
Yeah. She was
Damn,
like
no, I
kidnapped
did
with
not
her.
miss
I'll
that.
give you a really brief. She was like kidnapped with her
son.
Her son. They were being like held captive by her ex-husband for like 2 years in motel rooms.
Yeah.
And she like finally escaped, and this husband like kidnapped the kid, and she got him back after a year. And it was right around the holiday season, and she like passes a strip club, and she's like, one day I'm gonna do that and make money. So she did. That's like how she became a stripper.
Yeah, she became a stripper, and she
Wow,
finally had
okay.
money of her own and could support her kid.
Yeah,
and it
like
was
they had the best Christmas
heartwarming
ever.
in a very sad way.
Yeah.
Good lord.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was crazy.
Anyway, that's big spoilers.
Yeah.
Big old spoilers.
Spoiler warning.
DJ Elzebub, not now.
Yeah, that story is pretty nuts, and I didn't know any of that. Well, obviously, probably most people didn't, because I doubt that she really blasts that often. But damn.
Well, she shared it, and bless her for it, because that shit is real.
Yeah. So horror news. We're talking about a new movie from the Radio Silence team. If you're unfamiliar with Radio Silence, they most recently directed the movie Ready or Not. They also have done segments for the VHS movies and also the Southbound movie. So Ready or Not was fucking dope. I highly recommend you check it out if you haven't seen it this year. But they're making a new movie. So the Radio Silence is like a team of 3 people. They sort of co-direct. They're teaming up with Phil Lord and Chris Miller, who are...
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, they're a team of writers. They did like the Lego movies, Spider-Man, Into the Spider-Verse.
Last Man on Earth.
Yeah, a bunch of stuff. Bunch of really funny stuff.
Yeah.
So they're all teaming up on a new horror comedy. The synopsis is they're calling it a unique bear-driven horror comedy with heart. Yeah, like
Bar?
like Bear in the Woods.
Ooh.
There's a bar there.
Now, there's no bars in these woods.
So it was being pitched as a cross between Good Boys and The Revenant, which Good Boys, that's that recent movie, right?
About,
the little
like
the kids.
raunchy comedy with kids.
Yeah.
I hope they'll throw a little Midsummer in there with the bear outfit too. That'd be great.
There's a bar in them world.
There's a bar in that burning hut.
And a person inside of that bar.
Anyway, that shit, that sounds interesting to me. I definitely like everything that I've seen from Radio Silence thus far. They did the best VHS segment, in my opinion, anyway.
Which one was this?
The very last one on the first VHS movie. It's called 10/31/98. It's like the haunted house. They go to
that
like
was
a Halloween
so
party,
good.
and there's like fucked up shit going on in the attic.
The hands coming out of the walls and shit.
Yeah.
Oh, that was so cool.
Good stuff. So I'm looking forward to that, especially if like Phil Lord and Chris Miller wrote that shit. I'm down.
Yeah, I'm into this. I'm into all of the things you're saying right now.
All the things. We have other news coming from Jason Blum and Blumhouse. So they are bringing us a new version of Stephen King's Firestarter. It's going to be directed by Keith Thomas. Have you guys seen the original Firestarter?
I have not. I've seen the cover at Blockbuster many times.
Me too. That's about where I'm at. Never seen it, never read it. But it looks like I don't think we have a release date yet. So the original Firestarter was 1984. I didn't realize it was quite that old.
Yeah, it was Baby Barrymore.
But
Almost 30 years old.
Akiva Goldsman is writing the script for Blumhouse. I think that's about all the information we really have on it. It's based on Stephen King's classic novel. Story follows a young girl who develops pyrokinetic abilities and is abducted by a secret government agency that wants to harness her powerful gift as a weapon. So
Sounds like my childhood. Yeah.
Just
Sounds like my childhood.
Oh, yeah.
It's happened to me.
light things on fire with your mind, Becky. You do that a lot.
Just with matches.
No, that's cool. So yeah, keep your eyes peeled for that. And the last bit of news we want to tackle here, we finally got a trailer for that new Ghostbusters Afterlife movie. What do you guys think about that?
Well,
Not enough Crystal Skull. Vodka.
seems a little too surrealist for me.
Yeah, I mean, I heard people were comparing it to Stranger Things. I mean, that probably has a lot to do with Finn Wolfhard being in it.
Yeah.
You know, I like Finn Wolfhard to a certain extent, but I'm kind of just tired of seeing him in the same kind of roles all the goddamn time.
Me too. Get that kid.
Bob said the same thing. Bob specifically said, I'm tired of seeing his face.
I am, dude. I like him in all the things I've seen him in, but it's like there are other kid actors.
There's
kid
other
actors.
roles. Like,
Yeah.
give him something like give
He's
him
like
a
the
fucking
80s. He's
UPN
got the
show
same-
in the 90s.
We need to get that kid some drugs, some People magazine attention. He'll be out for a while.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool. We'll give him a Feldman story.
Oh no, don't do that.
I feel like that
Riches
kid's
to
trying to
rags to
make his
riches.
money like while he can. I mean,
Yeah.
like, you know, you're only a kid so long, so I mean, might as well do the roles while you can. And then once he like grows up, and then he can do other shit.
Probably pretty close to 18 by now.
Yeah. Probably up there.
But yeah, aside that, all that aside, it just kind of like, it doesn't feel like Ghostbusters in the slightest bit. Like the female one felt more like Ghostbusters because at least it was in New York. So I just don't know why.
He just turned 17.
Did he really? Okay. Well, I thought,
or actually December 23rd.
Okay. Well, whatever. He's on his way. He's on his way to sad adulthood like the rest of us.
Yeah. Get ready,
Dad.
Finn.
Money-
It's all downhill.
Money can't buy happiness,
Tell you
Finn.
what, I can't hate on a guy that was in so many pup music videos, but I just want to, like, if he's going to be in a movie, let's give him something besides the snide teenager to be.
He's gonna end up filling himself up with that booger sugar, you know.
So yeah, it looks dumb. Looks pretty dumb.
Yeah.
The last one looked pretty dumb too, and I have very little faith that Ghostbusters should or needs to be remade.
I didn't grow up with it or anything. Like, I didn't know the actual little phrase until recently. So
Bustin' makes you feel good.
no, I thought it was, what you gonna
Bustin'
do?
makes you feel
Call
good.
Ghostbusters.
Call.
And then I found out that was wrong.
Yeah, he said that once, and I fell out of my chair.
What are you gonna do?
Call Ghostbusters.
So I have no credibility in this movie, nor do I care, but you can't ask my opinion.
That is hilarious.
What you gonna do? That's a shirt, baby.
What you gonna do? I would wear the shit out of that.
What you gonna do? Call Ghostbusters, the real Ghostbusters.
That's awesome.
This feels like the movie where they're gonna have fucking like CGI ass. It feels like they're gonna have like Obi-Wan Kenobi's ghost by the end of this movie, but it's gonna be Dan Aykroyd. Citizens,
Yeah.
ghosts are real. It's time to acknowledge it. My name's Dan Aykroyd.
I think it's
It's a great
a
impression.
little annoying that they have to make everything feel so like
Heavy.
and just like it could just be this trailer, but they have like such a feeling of like importance, like huge importance, where this movie is like, oh, back in the day in New York, shit was like fucking crazy, man.
It's like they're going hard
I
on the
don't-
nostalgia button.
yeah.
Again.
And
But I also feel like the last movie, if I remember right, like I never actually saw it, but it seemed like they went like the much lighter route
They did.
on
Yeah.
last movie.
Even, like,
so
the
it seems
look
like they're
is
trying to
completely
maybe
different.
overcompensate
I
or
think
like
they
just
definitely are.
distance themselves from
'cause
that.
so
it's
many
like,
people
oh,
were
you-
like, this one is like, it doesn't honor the original and my childhood. It hurts. And like,
But I have
all
nerd
that-
friends like
damned
freaking
if
out
you
about
do,
this new
damned
one.
if you don't.
Yeah.
So, I have like nerd friends freaking out about this new one, like super stoked.
Yeah,
so.
because people's identities are wrapped up in commercial properties, and that's what's going to happen.
the biggest cooter of all.
Right, Bob?
We're all
Stupid nerds need to calm down.
We're all just Funko Pops waiting to happen. We're just waiting for our 15 minutes of Funko Pop.
Funko Bob. Yeah, this movie looks dumb.
Bob. Funko Bob.
We're all Funko people.
Not super.
Bob needs to
stoked
go
about
on
it.
his nerd tirade.
Oh no, I don't care. Nerds can.
I'm
do
actually,
whatever.
I'm more like annoyed by this trailer than I was by the original one. At least the original one was trying to be a fucking silly comedy.
Yeah,
That's the kind of my problem with this, and I think you're right that they're just overcompensating for the backlash on that one because it didn't turn out being very funny. But I don't know. It just seems like not in the spirit of what Ghostbusters like.
yeah. I guess
is.
people have such a reverence for those original two movies. They're just like, all right, well, we're gonna fucking give it to you this
Yeah.
time.
We're taking ghosts very fucking
Here
seriously
you
now.
go. Is this what you fucking wanted?
Slimer's gonna be in every scene.
Yeah, it feels a little lame.
You fucking what?
Is this what you fucking want, you fuckers? Fucking nerd.
I
do
can't
love me
wait.
some
Like
Paul Rudd
I'm,
because
I'm
I'm
like
a
pretty
person.
ready. I'm pretty ready for like the nostalgia train to move past my
Yeah,
generation.
man. Can we get some like?
I'm getting a little tired of that.
Can't wait for the fucking Fortnite movie.
Yeah. Or
Yeah.
like the SpongeBob movie or some shit. Like, let's just move past because I've said it again and again. Like, I don't hold a whole lot of weight toward the old Ghosts. Like, I get that they're popular movies and I enjoy them, but
Well, I
I
love
just
them.
Like, I don't need like we're getting like a Sonic the Hedgehog movie. We're getting a Ghostbuster. Like, I just
Exactly
I'm
the
ready
Sonic
to
movie
move
we
past
want.
my generation. I want to just enjoy the things in my mind, and that's fine.
Yeah.
We're just make an Uncharted movie or some shit where we can. Yeah, I'm tired of being the past that people are plumbing to make money in movie theaters.
Yeah, let's go back to like Cowboys and Indians or some
Make
shit.
an Uncharted movie. That's what I want.
Uncharted.
Sharded.
Yes, very clever wordplay.
Thanks, doll. So, yeah, that's another movie coming out that you can watch if you want. July 10th, 2020, it's dropping. That's all I have for news. And we don't actually have any voicemails to play for our Hotline Scream segment this week. But if you're listening and you'd like to give us a call, you can leave us a voicemail at 904-638-3231. We'll play those.
Give us a spooky Christmas story.
Send us
Got
your
any
best
spooky
Billy
Christmas
from Black
stories?
Christmas impression.
Dude, yeah, when we were
Pull a Joe Bob.
we were hanging out watching Joe Bob, Miles was on the Zoom chat, and he was like asking if this is the vast majority of our voicemails just sound like Billy.
This week
Let's
it
hope
will
so.
be.
Diddy did a dirty. So yeah, call in, leave us a voicemail. We'll play those next week. I guess there's only one thing left to do on the show. It's time to save a life.
Ooh.
Where did Bob go wrong? Were he and his friends sifting way too long through those Blu-ray bins? And it gets worse, he'll have no jet ski, wasting all his dough on those DVDs.
Take it away, Juice.
Bob, you've been wasting all your dough on those DVDs, the Blu Rays. Randy missed last week. Becca's never heard of this segment
yeah, I
before,
did
so
miss
let me
I'm confused.
let me inform. Becky, you know Bob buys a lot of Blu Rays.
Oh, I'm currently sitting in his house. I know the man.
She's
buys.
sitting on a stack of them right now.
That is the table and chairs are all Blu-rays.
Yes, Bob buys a lot of Blu Rays, so we've been tracking them in hopes to publicly shame him and to stop buying so many Blu Rays.
But I thought
Our
he
goal
was
is
earning
to
a jet ski. But now it feels like he's saving the life of like an orphan in Africa.
Saving his own life.
Oh, his own life.
Or our goal,
obtaining a jet
Uh,
ski.
our goal is to see, like, could have Rob bought a jet ski had he just saved his Blu-ray money and not
Which he
purchased.
desperately needs to save his life.
Yep.
So, Randy, you missed last week.
Yeah, where we
It
at?
is December 16th. Last week, Bob had a stack of 8, which puts his total for December at 18.
Holy motherfucking
It is
Christ.
the 16th of the month.
16th.
Yes.
That's 2 more
Becky,
than days.
Becky, last
happened so far.
month,
Oh, I know. It's like in
Last
the
month,
40s.
43 Bob purchased last
I
month.
look forward to hearing
I'm
what
not-
Randy
Did you hear
says
that,
about
Beck?
this. You told me, yeah.
43.
When I come to Jacksonville, everything is going to be revealed. All the totals from the month, the jet ski, everything. So we got to count. Bob, it is now December 16th. You have already topped the number of days. So you'd have to watch a Blu-ray a day to keep the jet ski away. So Bob, show us a new stack. Did Daddy need a new blue this week? Tell us. What's going on?
Few.
Daddy needed some new blues, so here's the stack on old YouTube
Here's
right
the
there.
YouTube stack.
Ooh.
1, 2, 3, 4. So Bob, you are now at 22, which is higher. If you get rid of November, it's the highest month you've had outside of that. Insane.
You
Some
really
people
kind
have
of like expanded your stomach size for Blu-rays.
amount
I did.
of Blu-rays. Yeah.
Insane.
So Bob, you finally hit 20s, 22 right now. What do you have this week, and where did you get them from?
I picked up, speaking of Ghostbusters, I picked up Ghostbusters 1 and 2 on Blu-ray from Best Buy for super cheap. I also, I got
That's what we always say.
What's that mean?
Real cheap.
I got It Chapter 2 on 4K because that came out this past week.
Sure, that was real cheap.
It was. And I also got Shocker and Deadly Blessing, which are both Wes Craven joints put out by Scream Factory. That's what I got.
So I might need to count the double. So you said which one's a double feature?
Ghostbusters is a double of one and two.
All right.
Ghostbusting
Should I
ass
count
DVD.
it?
Is it two?
I mean, I count the
two
Blade
discs.
trilogy.
Yeah. This is your game, man. You do whatever you want.
Let's
Clearly
see.
He doesn't care and has no feelings about it.
I think I'm going to count them separately.
I know you are.
Yeah, let's say 5.
Yeah.
then. Bob is at
There's been a bunch of
23.
collections Rob's gotten, and we've only counted them as one usually. I think.
No. He's counting. them all individually.
No.
Oh, you have been?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I
Yeah.
will say that 44 people a year, it says on Google, die in a jet ski every year. So
Oh, that's almost as many DVDs as we bought last month.
How many, Bex, can you look up the statistic? How many people get crushed by their enormous amount of Blu Rays?
probably not, but he might get a.
Oh my God, 45.
You might get like a
45,
blood
that's
clot in
crazy.
your leg or something for sitting and watching it. That's what
Yeah.
I was kind of wondering.
Oh yeah.
I usually
Yeah,
stand while I watch movies.
Do you?
No.
I was like, I've lived with you. I've never
I like
noticed
to
that
hang
before.
from the ceiling.
Upside down.
But you run every day.
He doesn't watch these Blu Rays. He doesn't watch.
It's not about consuming. It's about possessing.
Truth.
Bob, let's just do a double check. Have you watched that Blade trilogy yet?
You know I haven't.
You
know.
get so mad, but there's a very simple way to answer this question differently.
Yes.
Bob purchased the
That's the
triple
golden
feature
ring.
Blu-ray of the Blade trilogy back in August. Still yet to watch it. Still yet to
Oh.
watch it.
I want you to start that trilogy at 12 a.m. on the first of the year and don't stop until it's done.
Yes, sir. So we only have a couple more episodes this year. We're getting down to the wire, actually. So we're ending this segment at the end of the year. We're only doing this a couple more times. So we're gonna, like Justin said, when he comes to town, we're gonna have a big unveiling and see what a fool I am.
Big hootenanny.
Rob cannot wait for this segment to end.
It's gonna be great.
He's taking it back.
So yeah, we're gonna be back next week with a new show. We're gonna be talking about our last Patreon pick of the year. We're gonna be talking about Wes Craven's
Wes
Craven lately. Deadly Friend. The movie's called Deadly Friend, as was chosen by Miles. So that's what we're talking about next week. Becky, thank you so much for sitting in with us this week.
Yeah.
It's always good to have you.
Always a pleasure. Better than sitting alone at a house with Andy's parents. They're great, but
Not that great.
But, their parents.
they're parents.
I mean, one of them is a sad dad, so you can't be there too long.
That's
he brought
not
us
true.
Yeah.
Chick-fil-A, which is kind of sad, but
Also, you gave us
he brings us food.
You gave us
sometimes.
you gave us a great new joke that we should not let go of.
Which one?
What you gonna do? What you gonna
What
do?
you
That's a
gonna
new
do?
to you guys. That's a
Yeah.
dusted off acorn for me. I laugh about that on the rig.
What you gonna do? Call Ghostbusters.
So yeah,
That's wonderful.
Until next week, please rate, review, and subscribe to us on iTunes. You can follow us on Twitter at STR8_chilling, on Instagram at Straight Chilling Podcast. You can send us an email through our website, straightchillingpodcast.com. If you want to join us on our Slack channel, we talk about the movie of the week, talk about TV shows, music, video games, all kinds of stuff. Just contact us on one of those social media outlets, and I'll send you a link so you can join us on Slack. Don't forget to vote in our bracket of blood. Don't forget to vote in our monthly poll pick. Watch Deadly Friend and get ready for next week's show. And that's going to do it for us. So until next week, as always, all you mother truckers, please keep chilling.
What you gonna do?
Call Ghostbusters.